Hello everyone, this is the love video for the month of Scorpio for the month of October. Before anything, I'd like to announce to all of you that if you would like to see the additional card that I will draw after I'm finished this video, you need to press the button that says join, which is on the right hand side underneath the video. You need to make a payment there, which will be $4.99. American. However, it does depend on the country that you live in. There will be a currency exchange there. And that will allow you to have access to all my exclusive content, which I will be having one card for each sign. And if you would like to do that at the end of the video, that is the option for you. Okay, so Scorpio, here I have the two decks I'm going to be using. I have my regular deck, which I always utilize in my readings, and I have the Lenormand deck as well. I also have here my Psychic deck as well, okay? So we're going to be using a little bit of each here to try and provide a deep understanding here, Scorpio. So let's take a look here. And as always, I shuffle my deck and I create 3 lines of 7 cards each. So you will need to think of which line you prefer. So the first line, second line, or the third line. If any additional lines do apply to you, it may happen as well. Or it could be a completely different line that applies to you. So we're going to take a look and see what you have here. So try to figure out the line that resonates most with you. And of course, this reading also does apply to your ascendant and moon sign as well, as does all of my readings. Okay, so let's see, Scorpio, what we have for you on the first line. Okay, and as always, I only read the cards that turn over when I shuffle the deck. Okay, so here we have all of the cards for the first line. Okay, Scorpio, so here the last card that we have here, which is the Knight of Swords. And what does this mean? This means that something can come into your life very quickly, unexpectedly, someone who is an air sign. So this could be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. This card is a card that symbolizes a lot of movement. In this moment here, from what I'm seeing, I see a person who is, I don't know, I would say a person who that you would never expect that something would occur with them. So it was an unexpected action. Okay, it's almost as if someone's speaking to you that you believed there would be no connection anymore, or no love there, or that they would never communicate with you in that way, and then they do. That's kind of what I feel with this card. The first card that we have here is the Six of Swords, which dictates to me of travels, conversations, and situations where you decide to move, I would say, your life or your problems from one place to another. This is to go from point A to point B. It could also be that with this person that a communication is produced that was unexpected. That's what I'm feeling here. It could be that there's 2 people that need to clarify a problem, decide to do so, and unexpectedly a connection surges here. What I'm seeing here, that in this card in reverse, it means that you've already left behind that fantasy to think that something is good or bad or positive, negative. I see that there's already a decision that has been made here. And truly, Scorpio, I'm seeing solitude here. I see not being able to understand how to manage yourself, feeling that you are trapped in a situation. But fortunately here, I see that the solution arrives into your life. Here, obviously, we are seeing two figures here, or two situations very clearly. One is to make a trip. That's the first one. So for those of you that are trying to take a trip, it could be to take a trip to know someone, or take a trip because someone is waiting for you. Definitively here, I see that you do make that trip. And I have news for you here. If someone in this moment does not have the monetary gains in order to do so, you will. So I see that if you do want to travel, you will be able to achieve this. And the second situation here, the person that arrives into your life, or this unexpected communication, those problems that you had, that baggage that you had, they start to resolve themselves. And here, in this case, in the card of the World, talks to me about ending a situation that was very lengthy and tedious for you. And here this card is telling me that you've now made the decision between two options. And the positive is that you have taken the blindfold off of your eyes. So the card is in reverse here. And the card in reverse means the blindfold falls off of you. And there's no more thought that needs to be put into this. The decision has already been made. And we're deciding what is most positive for us, what is most beneficial for our life, for our personal life and our family as well in general. So for those of you who have a family, who are dealing with someone that was incomprehensible, and now all of a sudden they've decided to come to an agreement with you, definitively here, I see that this is the beginning of leaving those problems behind. So if one of you also know that someone arrives into your life unexpectedly, you will need to make a decision. And the decision here is very clear, is to either accept this person into your life, if they are, for example, from a different country maybe, or do we stay with our current family and our current situation? Because sometimes we know we do find ourselves in those situations, like leaving your family behind to create a new life for you. It could also be to leave your workplace behind. And when I say, leaving family behind, could also be siblings, parents, things like that. So here I see that you need to make the decision, and I see that you don't see things very clearly right now, but you will very soon. And so the three possibilities that I presented to you are very clear. So decision about someone who you already knew, in which conversation arises and decisions are made with clarity. And here, I'm just seeing the tiger here in the card. So I see here there's resonance here with the tiger. It could be the Chinese horoscope as well, to give you an example. The second is the trip. So it could be a trip a bit to the unknown, take a bit of a risk, leave behind family and workplace in certain situations as well. And we are a little bit uncertain of this, but you need to take that chance. And then third group is those of you who take a trip unexpectedly and achieve it. Okay, so let's take a look what we have with the Lenormand cards for you. Okay, so we have the Fish card here, which talks to me about abundance. Okay, so Fish also talks to me about positive things, being well, so also money that can be achieved if that was what you were waiting for. The only thing that in this case you need to look at clearly is how you can manage that situation. So you are looking in the wrong places. So the card tells me that whatever you are looking for, money, accomplishments, you will achieve that. And also, as far as trips goes, you need to do that as well. So I don't see any issues with this card. Okay, so let's go, Scorpio, to the second group here. So we're going to go to the second line. Okay, so very important, Scorpio. Please, when you watch this video, look for the one that says Scorpio Love October 2018, because there have been some people, especially last month, who were watching the previous year from 2017. So now when I'm uploading, I always put the year so that there's no confusion here as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the second line and see what we have for you. This month, Scorpio, I'm seeing something here for line 1 and line 2 here, similarity. I'm seeing here once again that we have the 7 of Cups in reverse. So this month, I see that the expectations are gone. This month, the fantasy is over. In regards to a situation that was dragging you, you know, that you carried with you. So this month you make that concrete decision as far as where you are and where you're going for the rest of this year. I feel that this month is very important for you, Scorpio. It's almost as if starting October or could be, you know, this mid-month in September, for those of you watching this video, I see that a change begins, and the change is to see things clearly. So here we are talking about a situation in certain cases with someone who is a Leo, or it could be any fire sign. It could be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. And the cards are telling me that you have had to decide, in this case, what to do with your relationship. How to manage the relationship in this specific case. You know, to be on the defensive, to utilize your intuition, what's left of the relationship. Here I see people who are very alone. I don't see someone who's in a stable relationship. I believe, Scorpio, that you are trying to truly understand the point of view of others. So it's almost like to go out and get to know someone, you know, converse with someone, and later there's this bit of confusion that arises here. What is it that this person wants from me? Do they want a relationship? Do they want to just have a good time momentarily? Or, you know, it could be with someone that you're communicating with online. I see here that people are giving you mixed messages. On the one hand, you feel that yes, this person is interested, and then, you know, you go to your email, you check for updates, they haven't responded to you, and they kind of left you thinking. So this month, I see that you're a little bit impatient as far as this relationship goes in the communication. And you are going to create a bit of a code, I would say, for yourself. The code would be the following. To say, for example, I'm going to communicate with this person and then wait a certain amount of time in order to hear back from them. And if this doesn't happen, then he or she will no longer be communicating with me, you know, and each of you will go your own ways. I see that you don't want to waste your time anymore, Scorpio. That's what I'm seeing here in the cards. I see that your time is just as valuable as everyone else's, which are on the other end writing back to you. And if those people are busy, then you are as well. So my advice to you, Scorpio, is not to lose your patience. I just believe that the best method of communication for you would be to put boundaries and to have an action plan. So, you know, to talk about this or that, and if the person is giving you the runaround and is not sincere, then definitively you need to end that relationship and begin the next steps. So, Scorpio, if this is someone who is a fire sign that you are communicating with online, my advice to you is that this person is not a good idea to continue and to end this, because here the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is telling me that it is not what is in your best interest. Okay, so let's take a look at what the Lenormand card have to say to you. Okay, so this card, as you can see here, is the card of the Carousel. Carousel, or can also be called the Rider. This card means messages that arrive into our lives. So it is the first card and announces new things. It's almost a new cycle here. And to end with a cycle that no longer was useful to us. This is very clear here. As I mentioned, it's the carousel. And a carousel here, in this moment that I'm analyzing here, the lines that we've seen here and what it means. To not allow anyone to give you that run around, like a carousel, okay, on a ride. So imagine here, this type of communication, either in person or online, you know, where you say something and the person goes around and around and around. And that's where this line is getting at here. It's almost a way of escaping the responsibility, or, you know, the relationship. And you don't have enough time to be on this ride forever. So I believe that with this card, you are going to decide here, ultimately, if you want to continue on this ride to go around and around, or to end it. Okay, so we're going to go to the third line, Scorpio, and see what we have. Okay, so here the last card that we have here is the High Priestess, which is a very, very good card. And this line talks to me about spirituality, connections, being able to see more than our eyes can see, and to be connected with superior forces, which are spiritual, and in whichever way that you believe, religiously or spiritually as well. And here, this talks to me about people who are extremely, extremely spiritual. And I feel here, to really say spiritual here, because we have two cards that are spiritual. We have the High Priestess and the Hierophant here. So definitely here we have the union here of two people that believe practically in the same concepts, spiritual concepts. It could be that you maybe have met this person in a church or a temple, and you started talking, and maybe about tarot. It could have been your horoscopes, and it seems that maybe both of you like the same type of things. So I see that type of connection here. May have been a specific type of religion, and both of you believe in the same ideologies. You have the same perceptions about spirituality and life. I also see here, Scorpio, that this person that you have met or will meet, as I've said, they have a lot in common with you, and not just the spiritual aspect here. I also see the philosophy of life, which is also very important as well, as the spiritual aspect. For example, you know, I like to work and study, you know, save some money to buy a home. So those types of things. So this person shares with you all of those ideas. this talks to me that it could be someone that you knew for a long time, but never really paid any attention to them. Sometimes, and I think this has happened to some people, I think, you may have had a neighbor or someone on your block, and you say hi to them every day, and for one reason or another, you start speaking, and then all of a sudden that connection is made. And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. And I'm not specifically saying that they have to be your neighbor. It could have been a colleague of yours, a friend, someone that never really drew your attention. Because I see that apparently here, this was at a time, when you had known them, this was a time that you were free and weren't thinking about relationships. But now, this person, I see, has made a type of transformation. Could be an air sign, so I see Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or maybe who has these characteristics. Someone that you start conversing with this person and you say, wow, I never thought that they were like this. Because it could be that sometimes the physical aspect doesn't draw your attention as much, but I see that there's so many connections with this person, common interests, that it truly awakens your interest to continue speaking with them. Here, I feel that you are going to leave something behind. And what you're going to leave behind is the feeling of liberty, to continue enjoying life for yourself. And you're going to say is, I'm going to give this person a chance. I'm going to keep speaking with them to see what arises here. And yes, this tells me that you can both have a new beginning. Here, this tells me that something very, very good and very beautiful can arise between both of you. So if you do know someone like this and you want to give yourself that opportunity, do it, Scorpio, because truly, I think that you have a lot of potential for the future. Okay, so let's take a look at what the Lenormand card has to say to you. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so here we are looking at the compass, as we can all see here. Okay, so let's see what this card indicates to us. The compass card is an indicator of the direction one is meant to go. Okay, it can represent someone or something that provides guidance and helps direct you towards a goal. This card urges you to examine the point or the focus of your undertaking. Look where the needle is pointed. Okay, so don't worry, Scorpio. Definitively here, there will be a direction in this relationship. There will be a compass. Okay, so it'll direct you on where you need to go. It could be that this person lives on a different continent. So it could be that this person's in a different country, because this shows here a map as well. And obviously, a continent here. It's a bit difficult to see where it's pointing, but I believe this is referring to Central and South America as well. It could be that you are both from different countries and different cultures as well. But cultures, language, race is not imperative here. The most important things here are the values. When two people share the same values, you can go very, very, very far in life. Okay, so all of you who would like to see the next card. So this next card will bring a little bit more information as to what we've seen here. You just need to click on the join button at the bottom of this video to become a member, and then you can see the following card, and you can also see all of the other horoscope cards as well. Thank you so much, Scorpio. I wish you all of the best for this coming month, and I hope that this will arise, because I see something very, very positive for you. And also, don't forget to join, become a member, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much.